What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is having a great day today. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a fun one. I am going to be sharing my Engelhard, my silver Engelhard collection, that is, with you guys. Been talking about that recently. Wanted to, pull most all of it here together. I think I have most all of it here today. I might be missing a little bit, but this is what I could pull together for this video. I'm excited to share it with you guys, have a little discussion, talk about some stuff regarding Engelhard. Engelhard is one of the most well-known names in silver bullion, even though they have not made any silver bullion in quite some time. They are still around as far as industrial metals go, but they have not made bullion, as far as I know, since the 80s. I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I just go off of my knowledge of stacking over the years. There is a website called allengelhard.com, which most of you guys are familiar with, and they are not hard set in stone numbers either. They're just stackers and collectors like you and I, with a lot of experience, mind you. And they just use their best guess from their experience of what they've seen in the market and what they see locally to put on there. That's definitely not from Engelhard. It's just from collectors that take their time to put that together. And it is a good tool to use. And a lot of people do collect Engelhard. Like I stated, it's one of the most well-known names out there in silver bullion, and people, it's very highly collectible, and sought after. And even before the vintage silver started to take off in popularity and premiums continued to rise, Engelhard, in my area anyways, when I went into the local coin shops, always commanded a premium. Whether it was an extra 25 cents, 50 cents, an extra $1 an ounce over spot, depending on what it was. And I had found quite a bit of it. And today, this is what I have again today. And I say that because I have I would say I flipped quite a bit of my more highly, I've added some since then, so I'll be careful how I say it. What I had in the past of more valuable pieces, more highly collectible, valuable pieces that went for quite a bit of money. When the vintage kind of went up in popularity, when prices per ounce were kind of high, and then we dropped down under 20 not that long ago, the prices remained high and they actually continued to grow. And I wanted to move some vintage, and so I did move some Engelhard and some other stuff and go back in and increase my ounce count. So that's what I did. But today I've been building it back. I've been having fun with it. I really don't plan on moving any more. I'm trying to grow my stack, and we're about at 1,500 ounces, just about 1,500 ounces of Engelhard. So, I'm pretty happy about that, and we'll continue to add it as long as I continue to find it at low premiums locally. I will tell you almost every single thing that I show you today, I'd say 95% of it was local pickups with small premiums, and I was very happy to do that. Now today I'm going to have to stand up with this camera and move around the table, so I will try to keep it as steady as possible for you guys. But I will give you a quick overview of what we are going to be looking at today. And as you can see, different variations, different sizes, different styles. Not everything that's out there, but this is what we are going to be going over today, and just have some fun with it, guys. So if you're into this type of stuff, please give me a like, thumbs up, share, whatever you feel like doing. I appreciate it. Comment down below if you're into Engelhard, if you like to collect vintage. Let me know of your strategies and what you're into, what your favorite pieces are. I like to hear all that stuff. So let's go ahead and start out right here with this Series 12 or 12th series we like to call Engelhard press bar. The little chunkies is what I call them. This one is a pebble back variation. Now, if I get anything wrong in this video, guys, don't beat me up too bad in the comments. I'm just going off the top of my head and with my experience. So if I misstate something or somebody disagrees, that's okay. Just let me know down below. So I'll try to the best of my ability to give you the best knowledge that I know regarding these pieces, okay? So this is a 12 series Engelhard. I have had quite a few of these. I used to have probably about 12 or 15 of these in the past. Probably have had easily over a couple thousand ounces of Engelhard, and I'm trying to build it back up. So this is basically about the newest Engelhard bar that I have here of the 10-ounce variety, the 12 series. Now, these are the 11 series. I like to call these the P series or the flatbacks. That's what I call them anyways. I do like them. I like the looks of them. I like the sides on them. You guys have probably seen these over the years. The nice flatbacks with the sharp edge. Just a cool feeling bar in the hand. I really do enjoy this variation of the Engelhard bar. These ones you would see all in your shops just even a few years ago. Saw these all the time in the shops when silver spot price was, you know, down $15, $17 or so. The first few years that I stacked silver, I think we averaged about $17 an ounce. It was coming down off of 20 when I started, and we bounced all over. But the first few years that I stacked, we averaged about 17 an ounce. And the last few years that I've stacked, we've been averaging about 24. So that's kind of where it's been for the last decade of my stacking. And these we could find all the time in the coin shops back in the day for, you know, 160, 170 bucks, 180 bucks. You know, all day long we found those. And a lot of them got left there, you know, just because premiums were low back then and they were readily available, you know. These ones here, don't yell at me too bad, but I melted at least a dozen of these things for my sand casting back in the day. I had so many of them and they were cheap. And plentiful. I mean, today I wouldn't be melting any Engelhards, but I have in the past, and that's the reason why you do not see any of the most recent flat 10-ounce joints, because I had probably 15 or 20 of those, and they are all been in the crucible in years past. So not anymore, but that they did go back in the day. So you know what? We're going to take a little sidetrack here and talk about these 5-ouncers, since we just showed that P. Here is the 5-ounce P variation, same thing. Looks pretty much the same thing, just in the 5-ounce. Very, very cool variation. I do like the 5-ouncers. I only have these 3 left. I got a couple here in the mint seals. Here, we'll get a better look at this one. Just kind of like that chunky 10-ouncers that you saw, but it has the Engelhard back instead of the pebble back. Nice clean example there in the mint seal. Pick those up when I can. You just don't see them too often, and nowadays the cost is usually too high when I do see them. So the next one, we went from 12 to 11. These are 10th series, and both of these have nice waffle backs. And you can tell the difference between the 7th series and the 10th series by looking at the 9s. These 3 9s are together. It's got a little bit more of a straight wall on the side instead of tapered. And that is one of the ways, or the way that you can tell. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool waffle back on that one. I like that. And you can tell the difference between the two. Now, this one is, I believe, the 9th series. This is a W variation. I only have one of these. This one I got from my good buddy, the Bear. He had a few W's. You can see it's got a wonderful texture on the top. Just a really cool looking bar. Was happy to have that variation in my stack. I had a few of these bowl logos. I kept one. Now this is a 3rd series Canadian Engelhard bar. Just a cool, it's a little bit longer. This one's got some nice character to it. Nice little ripple there on the top. There's a bowl logo 3rd series. I don't remember the mintage of those right off the top of my head. So we're going to go to the 7th series. And when I pick this up, we'll just grab one of these and take a look. You see the difference there. It's got a little bit more of a tapered where it's smaller at the bottom and it goes up to the top. And these are all waffle backs as well, every single one of these. Different variations of the waffle backs. I've had cool ones that have had the reverse stamps on them, all that stuff. Some of those were the ones, some of the ones that I moved when I was when I was flipping some of my vintage. But I still have some nice examples left in the collection. There's a few of those right there. So let's go ahead and move on over, and we're going to talk about the ones that I have the most of. And these are 3rd series and quite rare, even though I have quite a few of them. And I have them separated into different piles for a reason. These are what they call the more rare variations of the 3rd series, are the X8 bars. I have, like I stated, 38. These ones here do not have the X8. These ones have double X8, and these have X8. So I probably moved a dozen or 15 of these with some cool variations, or maybe some that didn't have any X8s. But I've maintained holding these and picking these up. There has been a hoard locally, from my understanding, in my area, and that's where all of these came from. These normally are not easy to find. You don't see them every day, that's for sure, and you won't be seeing mine for sale. So, you know, they're going to be staying around. So staying around in my deep stack. So they're still going to be pretty rare. So I will show you the difference. What I'm going to do for this, I'm going to set the camera back down for a minute so I can give you a better look without making you dizzy. Let's go ahead and set that down, and I'll show you some of the variations here. Now this is a standard bar. You don't see any stamping here on the prefix. You see a 10613, just a cool one. That's got some nice color to the top. And that is a nice example of a 3rd series. Some of these have wonderful puckering on the surface. Just really cool bar. Now let's take a look at this is the first one that I've ever found. And as you can see, they used a rotary stamp, excuse me. And this is, if it was full and it wasn't out of place, it would be an X, and the same thing with this would be an 8. This has it at the top and on the bottom, so that's what I'm calling a double X8. Obviously the more rare variation of these, and that's what these ones here are. And I'll share a couple of them. Don't need to show you every single one of them, but some of the cooler looking ones. Just beautiful character, beautiful color to these. Old Engelhard. I absolutely love these. I haven't seen anybody else out there, and I could be wrong, have more of these. I don't think they do. That's probably the best 3rd series collection that you probably will see a video on. I pretty much guarantee you that. This one has a really cool linen texture. If any of you guys have a cooler 3rd series collection, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I think it was a very rare thing that I was able to find these, and definitely not common. So those are the double X8s. We'll show you this one here, which is it's definitely the most rare. This one has a full 8 prefix on it, and a gorgeous top. So that's definitely the rarest of the 3rd series 10-ounce bars that I have. Just a really cool example. And there's just really cool example. Love these old bars. See if I have any other cool variations of stamp. Here's one that's kind of interesting. Just with the divot of the center, pretty much you got a double X8, and then most of the serial number is missing just due to how that bar was poured. Look at the nice pour lines on the side of that. Just a really cool bar. Love the old pours. You guys know that I pour, so I really appreciate it. When we look at these old vintage pours, that's what my inspiration was for getting into the pouring game. And I love to pour bullion just as much as I like pouring my 3D pieces. Thing is most people want my 3D pieces, so that's what I tend to pour the most of. Now let's take a look at these 1st generation 100-ounce Engelhards. I currently have 8 of these. I did have 10. I did have 2 that I did move. Now, the 1st series were made around the same as the 3rd series 10s. That's why you will notice we have some X prefix as well. This is the rarest of the 8 that I have. This one has a full X, which is quite rare, and it's a beautiful bar. We got some that have double X. Very nice. Here's another one here. It's got a double X. This one's got a cool top on it as well. And these two top bars here do not have any prefix variations, but this one right here is gorgeous. I absolutely love the pucker lines on that bar. Just absolutely sick bar. Love those 100 ouncers, and very, very, very happy that I was able to add those into my Engelhard deep stack. Absolutely sick. Love that type of stuff, guys. So let's go ahead and move into the 1 ounce bars. You know, one thing that I will say about this, Engelhard was famous for carrying serializations from different sized bars. So it's hard to like try to go off of the serial numbers for any specific thing. You know, you see this like 11,280. There's definitely not that many of these bars out there at all. And the same thing with these. The estimated mintage of these is like less than $3 grand. And I bet you today there's well short of 1,000 of these floating around. These are early bars, and I'm sure a lot of these have been melted. And if you try to, you know, you can find older auctions and stuff of these, but it's not like you find them every day. You know, I would have to say these first gen Engels, I would be surprised if there's 1,000 left of these on the earth. That's my opinion. Just from what I've seen over the last decade. You can go on Worth Point, different places like that, check out auctions just to see how often they come up. Not very often whatsoever. But let's go ahead and take a look at these 1 ounce bars. I have a little over 100 of the 1 ounce bars, and we will take a look at some different variations. Let's see here. We have large E, small E. I'll just move them over here so we can put some together. The large E, small E, the EMC. There's different variations and letter prefixes of the serializations on these. Quite a few different ones. Just give you a brief look at that. There are different backs on some of these bars. Down here you will notice some of the Engelhard bars. I only have 3 of those. I have a few of the Canadian maple variations, including this beautiful one here that's still in the mint seal. Picked that one up local, I think for like 20 bucks quite a few years ago. Was very happy to find that. Things like that keep me coming back to the coin shops, keep me looking for more bars. Here are a couple Engelhard Industries, another variation. These are a little bit older, a little bit more collectible. You don't see these quite as often, that's for sure. And we will move over here slowly so I don't make you sick to the more landscape variations. And these ones have different types of backs. You got pebble back. You have a smooth back, which you don't see very often. And you have the standard back. And obviously lots of different groups of serializations. They made lots of those 1 ounce bars, okay? So we'll move over here and we'll take a look at a BU roll of 1983 Engelhard Prospectors. This is the collectible year, the more rare year. So I got a nice BU roll of the 83s. As you can see, and the original Engelhard tube. Now, anybody that has looked these up or has any idea, these go for quite a bit. These are harder to find, obviously. I'm sure tons of them gotten thrown away over the years, but those are very collectible, hard to find, and the premiums are ridiculous on those. So let's go ahead and move over here. I got more 83s and 84s. I'm pretty sure I have another roll of 83s somewhere. 87 is another year that's a collectible year, just so you guys know when you're out there hunting your coin shops. If you see the 83s or the 87s, go ahead and pick those up first. You'll see a lot of the 82s and the lollipops, what we like to call, still sealed in the plastic. I do have some of those too. I have a 10 strip of the plastic one somewhere I was unable to find for this video. At the back of that, I just wanted to show you some cool color on a couple of those. So that's mostly 83s and some 84s. Let's go ahead and set this back down. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping by today and checking out the video. If you like this type of video, I would appreciate it if you get a thumbs up or give me a comment down below. I like to chat with you guys regarding the vintage. Takes me a little while to get a video like this together. I had to pull everything from different spots. I got most of it, like I stated, and it's just fun. So I try to make videos that I find fun, that I'd find interesting, and that I would enjoy watching. So let me know down below if you guys are into Engelhard, if you try to pick it up, if you're hunting for it at your local coin shops, if you're into the vintage stuff. If not, tell me that too. I'd appreciate to hear why you think that the vintage isn't worth it. Usually the only argument that I hear is that the prices are high, which I would definitely agree, but do not overpay for any vintage. Be patient. Over the years, you will find it, even though these days it's harder and harder to find at the local coin shops because everybody's looking on eBay and overprice every dang thing. I'm lucky to have some decent coin shops around me that don't do that. That just try to turn and burn, if you will, and move the product through the door, and they'll get a little bit of a premium from me, but I'm definitely not going to be overpaying it. You know, when I first started stacking, the premiums on bars were well under $1. You could get silver for 15, 25 cents over. You could get eagles for less than $2 over. You know, when I went to the coin shop, they might sell everything for 50, 70 cents over, 60 cents over. If it was Engelhard, maybe $1 over. You know, that's the way it used to be. And obviously we're no longer in those times. And people try to squeeze every penny out of everything that they can. So when you find stuff and you hunt it down, you know, that's the beauty of it. But again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and watching my video today. I appreciate you all, and we'll see you on the next one.